from Houston, Texas. This is Laurie's Kitchen. I'm back for another week. I know, it's crazy. I really wasn't ready to continue my foray into my own kitchen cooking, but here I am with a request for chili con queso. Big backstory, but first, before I get started, I want to plug the Houston Food Bank, desperately needing money to provide food for citizens of Houston, Texas. If you cannot give money to Houston, Texas Food Bank, please give to your own food bank, wherever you might be, because I have fans in other states. I can't believe it, but I really do. Come on over to my kitchen. All right, first, I'm going to start this thing up. This is gas stove, so things get hot right away. What I have done to get me started for this con queso, because it's one of those things that you sort of throw it together, but you also have to have already melted your trusty big square block, no, rectangular block of Velveeta. You just take it out, dump it in the crock pot, let it melt. It looks gooey and disgusting right now, but in a while, it'll look really pretty good. So this is it as it is melted. You see how it's kind of gluey? In fact, I think you could use it as glue. All right, little backstory on this. I want to give a shout out to my friend Lynn, who lives in Arizona. Way back, we lived in Rockport at the same time, and her husband was the head coach, and my husband was an assistant coach for him. So we had these little parties sometimes on Friday nights or on Saturday afternoon. We'd get together and have just our families together. And she made con queso, chili con queso. Lynn, what is this? This is fabulous. She told me how to do it, but she used, get this, a double boiler. And she cut her cubes of Velveeta perfectly and laid them in there, and they melted so beautifully. Oh no, that's not my style. My style is crock pot. Throw it in, hope it melts, and it did. Now it's kind of gluey and it's got to get kind of melty again. And it will, because a lot of other things are going to happen here. There's such a thing as an Instant Pot. I wanted to make sure I told this little story today. Back in the 70s, I had a microwave, greatest invention ever. You ate when you wanted to eat. All you had to do was cook it once and then throw it in to the microwave. And I went to my mom's house and I said, "Mom, where is your microwave?" She said, "Microwave?" She says, "I'm not in a hurry." And I thought, well, I guess she's got a good point there. Anyway, I was always in a hurry. That's how I feel about the Instant Pot today. Everybody raves about it. I'm not sure if it replaces the crock pot, it's in addition to the crock pot. I have no idea. But what I do know is I don't have one. I don't have one because I am not in a hurry. All right, but moving on. I am kind of in a hurry right now. I have started browning 1 pound of ground chuck. I like it to have some grease. I'm going to show you what to do with that grease in just a minute. And I am browning it up. So I had already started on this because honestly, I didn't think you needed to watch me chopping up a bunch of hamburger. Everybody knows how to do that one, I think. So you just sort of chop at it and make it smaller little bits. And you can see there's a pretty good flame. You're going to get a roaring flame here in just a minute. And that's what it looks like. You cooked it. It takes maybe 10 minutes. You could actually cook it for a longer period of time and go do something else if you wanted to. But I don't do that because you know what happens when I leave this stove? It leaves my mind too. And the next thing you know, not fire department time, but oh my gosh, I've got hamburger on. I better get back to it. I haven't ever burned up my entire kitchen, but I have burned up a few meals that I thought were going to be spectacular, and they turned out black. But anyway, all right, I'm going to take this over. I'm going to leave that on. It's probably some sort of fire hazard, but I'm going to dump this in here. And I am a real stickler. Notice it says love people at this stage of the game. I think it's a good idea to love some people and cook them tasty food. All right, I'm going to put this on here. I'm going to run this little paper towel around it. I'm going to throw that paper towel away. And I'm going to shake this hamburger to get all the grease out of it. And I'm going to do something that maybe you don't know about, and maybe you do, or maybe you find disgusting. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wash this. It doesn't hurt it one bit, because you know what's going to happen next? After I wash it and drain it, there's hardly any grease in it because the grease is right over here. And that just gets thrown away, not down your sink. It stops it up. No, not everybody believes that, but I sure do. All right, so you kind of drain it all off. You don't have to wipe it dry. I'm not that ridiculous. But I'm going to throw this all in here. Everything looks good. I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to shake it out like this. Make sure it's all over everywhere. And then I'm going to put more water than you think I should. And you're going to see it almost covers it. And there's a trick here. Don't really follow the directions on the package of taco seasoning, which is right here. I am a big fan of the house brand or the store brand. I like H-E-B chips. I so wanted to get the H-E-B chips that are shaped like Texas because I live in Texas, and H-E-B is a big grocery chain in our state. But alas, they were gone. Now I don't know if they've been gone the whole time of this situation, but I did get the H-E-B brand. They're bite size. We're going to test it at the end. And this is Kroger brand. I could have used the H-E-B brand, but this one's just fine. If you have a Trader Joe and you use their taco seasoning, be prepared. It's spicy. Okay, so I'm going to open this up, and there are probably people who do a much better job using their own taco seasoning formula, but this works for me. So then you sort of mash, but notice what I'm doing. I'm going to crank this up really high. And there's a reason why I do that, because I want it to be roaring. I want it to be bubbling. And I'm going to mix all of this in here. I don't know that this is a secret, but other people try to do this queso, and it's never the same. It could possibly be like the way I feel about making a salad. If you make a salad for me, it's always so much better than the one I make. It might be that way with queso as well. I'm never quite sure. Okay, so this is going to start up. It's going to go into a rapid boil. While that's happening, I hope that's happening magically, I'm going to come over and talk about tomatoes. All right, a lot of people use Rotel or some variation of it. It's green chilies and tomatoes, and it can be spicy or it can be not spicy. I don't use Rotel. The reason I don't is it's not consistent. It's not consistent. This is just a bunch of chopped tomatoes. I'd use the house brand if they have it, but the other day, they didn't have the one that I had requested. All right, so here we go. I'm going to just dump the whole thing in, the juice and everything, because remember, you saw that Velveeta, and that Velveeta was pretty much on the gooey side. So now we're going to put this in here, and we're going to start stirring and see what happens. And pretty soon, we're going to have hamburger go with it. All right, now these are chopped tomatoes. These are canned tomatoes. These are chopped tomatoes. And when we're all done with this, I'll put these in at the very end. So there's fresh and there's canned. You could use all fresh or you could use all canned. I used tomatoes on the vine. This is what I got. In these trying times, you use whatever shows up at your doorstep. And the taste is awesome, because this time of year, things start hopping around here. The fruit gets better, the tomatoes get better, and I really hope sometime the cantaloupe gets better too. But the tomatoes are not bad, and look at them, they're really pretty. So I'm going to put those back. I always, in my fruit and vegetable, you notice there's a potato stuck in the middle of this. I always get very green bananas too, and then they last a little longer. Okay, so we're going to wait for this to really bubble up. And this takes a few minutes. So you're going to notice the flame right there, lots of flame. And you're going to, and then this will rolling boil here in a minute. All right, you know, I spent a lot of years cooking all kinds of things for people. My husband was a coach, and we spent a lot of years in Rockport, and we had a meal every single Friday night that we had a home game. And then we moved up to Houston, and we were really quite successful. And in being quite successful, you have these playoff games. So on Friday or Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, there might be a game, and then everybody expected to get together, usually at our house. And then you had to figure, oh my gosh, okay, I need chips, I need this, I need that, I need salsa, I need guacamole. Okay, I'll have queso. Oh, somebody will bring enchiladas. And it all starts coming together. So that's why my backstory really is about family and fun and friends in the kitchen. This is a hard time for me, and I imagine it is for everyone else too that shares their holiday at Easter time. I am not happy that I'm not sharing my Easter with my family. I have my daughter in Chicago who normally doesn't come for Easter, but I have my grandchildren right here who expect me to put together a whiz-bang Easter celebration with lots of eggs and coins and dollar bills and who knows what all. And that's not how it's going to happen this year. I provided some things for them, but it's not the same. And we FaceTime and we use the portal and we talk on the phone, but this year is just not exactly how it's been in the past. So we just have to make do, and hopefully next year we won't have this issue. Now, as I said earlier, I'm supporting the Houston Food Bank. I saw a very big story on TV this morning about the Houston Food Bank, about San Antonio Food Bank. And there were like 10,000 people that were coming to the food bank, and there's no way they can provide all of the supplies that people need. So they too need help, as well as our food bank, or the food bank that you that is in your town. I don't know if you volunteer at a food bank. We used to. A long time ago when I lived in the Clear Lake area, I volunteered in League City. And even though there was nothing really happening that was bad, people always seem to need food from the food bank. There are people that are down on their luck and they still need to eat. All right, you can see this is boiling up nicely. Kind of wish it would boil up a little faster, but it does what it does. You have to just wait for it. It's like anything in life, you have to wait for the good thing. Very nice. All right, so when you're stirring, you just start to kind of push this way and hope that water goes away. But it doesn't all go, and that's the thing I wanted to show you, and that's why I did it this way. Browning the meat is not a big deal, but trying to get all of the meat covered, kind of like a thick gravy-like sauce, it will come together, and you're going to see in a few minutes how that works. All right, I also have something to tell you about queso. You can go to lots of restaurants and get queso lots of different ways. You can get it with meat, you can get it without meat, you can get it with onion, you can get it with chives. You can put sausage in it. I happen to know somebody who really likes it with sausage. And every time she makes it, I think, that doesn't taste like mine. How do you not have it tasting just like mine? And then I realized she'd use sausage instead of hamburger. So you can do different things with it. When you eat mine, it's mine. When you make yours, it's yours. And that's true about all kinds of recipes. You'll get a recipe, but it won't taste just like the one that came out of my kitchen because it's mine. But it will come out of your kitchen and it will taste like yours. So at a time like this, when we're really trying to maybe create in the kitchen, that's how all this started. Somebody wanted to know how to cut up chickens. You start making this your own and really addressing the fact that you can be a home cook, that you can use the the supplies that you have in your pantry or in your refrigerator. I was thinking to myself, I have a refrigerator in the garage too that usually has next to nothing in it. It is jam-packed. Now I don't know what everybody else is hoarding in their lives, but apparently I'm hoarding bread. I have rolls, I have bagels, I have muffins, I have these fabulous like challah buns, and I have so many of them. Maybe I'm scared I'm going to run out of that. I have plenty of eggs because I figure I've got an egg, piece of toast, I'll live. But there must be a thing with the bread. All right, so you see this is really bubbling. Really bubbling. All right, what you're going to do now is take this and come over here and dump it in. And see how this is going? And you want to take some of the liquid with it. I have a little more liquid than I usually have with it due to circumstances. So I'm going to dump all this in here. And then I'm going to come right back over here and I'm going to stir. And you see how that became melty. All right, and while I'm stirring, I'm going to give a plug to Sur La Table here. This is the incredible fork from Sur La Table. A little less than $10, sometimes they have them on sale. Go there, and this little fork can do all kinds of things. Personally, it scrambles eggs better than anything I've ever had in my life. All right, so this is the Velveeta chopped tomatoes, and you can see just kind of keep at it, and then whoop, I like lots and lots of veggies. So now it's liquidy because you've added a little bit of the taco seasoning. All right, now I don't know how they do it on the Food Network and look sanitary while they're doing it, but I'm going to take a chip. And then I'm going to put my dip on my chip. Maybe. All right, here we go. That is really good. Those tomatoes are still really fresh. You get the seasoning off the hamburger. And by the way, I didn't spill any on me. I'm wearing a beautiful Easter top. You don't need to go past the waist because I don't match in the bottom part of me. And this is hand embroidered. You can see. A beautiful Easter color. Happens to be from my daughter-in-law. She knows I'm sad that I can't be with them tomorrow. So I'm wearing my Easter shirt today. I'm going to fix Easter dinner tonight after I get through with this little adventure. Anyway, you guys have a great Easter. Enjoy cooking and enjoy chili con queso on me. Here we go. Done.